Husband came home while wife was in the shower. Well, he wanted to get into the shower right after because he was all dirty from work. So the wife got out of the shower and went over to get her bathrobe, and while she was putting it on, she heard a knock at the door. She put her slippers on and went to answer the door. And when she opened the door, it was their next-door neighbor, Kevin. Kevin's eyes got really big, and he was looking at her, and he said, "I'll give you $500 if you drop that robe right now." And she thought about it for a moment, and as she was thinking, well, my husband's probably going to be really mad if I do that for only $500. But then I thought, well, maybe he'd be mad if I didn't do it for $500. Well, before making her next move, she told Kevin, "Show me the money." He reached into his back pocket really fast, pulled out his wallet, and took out $500 and showed it to her. And that's all it took, and she dropped her robe. Then she took the money out of his hand, put her robe back on, and shut the door. Then she went back upstairs to the bedroom where her husband was in the shower. She walked into the bathroom and she said, "Hey, honey, you're not going to believe what just happened." And before she could say anything else, he said, "Who was that at the front door?" And she said, "Well, it was just Kevin, the next-door neighbor." He said, "Well, it's about dang time. Did he say anything about that $500 he owes me?" Wife went shopping at the mall, and the cashier noticed a remote in her purse. "Do you always carry that with you?" She said, "I wanted my husband to come shopping, but he stayed home to watch football, so I took the remote." When she tried her credit card, it was blocked. She used her husband's card instead, and even had his phone to get the PIN. She got home, reached for her house key, and realized she didn't have it. There was a note on the door. "Hey, honey, couldn't find the remote, so I went to a friend's house to watch the game. I took my key. Call me when you get home." A small-town prosecutor called an elderly grandmother to the stand. "Mrs. Jones, do you know me?" "Yes, I've known you since you were a boy. And you've been a disappointment. You lie, cheat on your wife, and manipulate people." Stunned, he pointed to the defense attorney. "Do you know him?" "Yes, he's lazy, bigoted, has a drinking problem, and cheated on his wife. With yours." Both lawyers were in shock. The judge quietly called them to the bench and said, "If either of you asks her if she knows me, you're both going to jail."